Today's lesson is special right triangles, and our objectives are to use the relationships in 45, 45, 90 triangles and to use the relationships in 30, 60, 90 triangles. 45, 45, 90 means that they're right triangles. You have a 90-degree angle, and your 45 and 45 are those two. Now, for relationship with 30, 60, 90, it means you have your 90, and one is a 30, and one is a 60 degree. So we have a formula for key concepts for both of them. For 45, 45, 90, opposite the right angle is going to be side. We can even use the letter x if we want to. X, square root of 2, and then opposite 45 degrees are going to be x. Let's just use x. That's the formula. So if you want to rewrite it, you have 45 degrees, 45 degrees, and 45 degrees. Opposite both 45, so that your legs are going to be x's. And your hypotenuse will always be x square root of 2. For a 30, 60, 90 triangle, you have 3 different sides. So you have, I'm going to rewrite it, make a bigger picture. You have 30. I'm going to draw it a little bit more up to scale. There we go. Your 30 degrees will always be opposite your 30 degrees, will always be x. Opposite your 60 degrees, the side that's opposite your 60 degrees will be s or x square root of 3. And opposite your 90 triangle or your hypotenuse will always be 2x. So we're going to use these formulas to do the problems. So let's look at it. We're starting with 45, 45, 90. They're also called isosceles triangles. That means two sides are equal to each other. So again, you're going to have your formula. You're going to have x, x, and x square root of 2. So if I look at it, the length of the, example 1, the lengths of the legs of an isosceles triangle are given. Find the length of each hypotenuse. So that's x square root of 2. So you will need your calculator because you need to find out what square root of 2 equals when you do the problem, multiplying it. If I look at the picture, the legs are 6. So they're saying x equals 6. So this x equals x square root of 2. Square root of 2. But x equals 6, so it's going to be 6 square root of 2. And then you plug in 6, so you're going to go 6. And you don't put the times sign, you're just going to put the square root sign, which means second squared. And then you put 2 down, and then you press the button, and we want to round to the nearest tenth, so it would be 8.5 inches. All right, B. So they're saying again that the legs are 4.2 Well, our legs again are x. That equals x. So remember, we're doing x square root of 2 equals your hype for hypotenuse. So it's going to be 4.2 square root of 2. So you put it exactly like I wrote it in your calculator. You're going to go 4.2 seconds square root of 2. And you put it, and it's 5.939, so it's going to be 5.9 centimeters. All right, next one. A baseball diamond is a square. So immediately that tells me that each square, if I look at a square, let's see if I have it. Square. Each side is 90 degrees, okay? Here's home plate, first base, second base, third base. The distance from any base to the next is 90 feet. So they're telling me from home to first it's 90 feet. From first to second it's 90. Second to third is 90. And third to fourth is 90. How far is it from home plate to second base? So I need to throw, I'm a catcher, and I need to throw to second base. So I need to do this. Okay, so I need to find the distance between H and second. Okay, so now I have a right triangle. When you do that, this becomes 45 degrees. Because half of 90 degrees is 45 degrees. So again, we're trying to find the hypotenuse. My leg equals x. So x equals 90. So you're going to this time do 90 square root of 2. Because remember, it's x square root of 2 is your hype. So that is 120, it's about, let's make it a whole number, about 127 feet. It's 127.27, but let's make it a whole number. So it's about 127 feet. All right, example 3. This is the 30, 60, 90 triangle. Let's go over it again. I'm going to write it at the top. 30, 60, 90. Opposite 30 is x. Opposite 60 is x square root of 3, and opposite 90 is 2x. This time we have to find two formulas. I'm going to use a different color, blue. Okay, opposite 30. So you take your 30 and put an arrow going to the opposite. That is my x, and I'm going to make it equal to 5. Now, opposite 60 is the formula, which is x square root of 3. And writing this on your paper is really helpful when you draw it out so you can figure out which one is next. And then opposite 90 is 2x. I know what x equals. X equals 5. So now I can plug in all the stuff. So I'm going to turn it to a different color. I'm going to turn it to purple. So now it's going to be 5 square root of 3 and 2 times 5. I could do 2 times 5 in my head. That's 10. But I do have to find out what 5 square root of 3 equals. And that's 8.66, so I'm going to round it to the nearest tenth, so it's 8.7. So on your homework you will put y equals 8.7 and x equals 10. Alright. Again, opposite 30 is your x. So x equals 4. Opposite 60, x square root of 3. And opposite 90 is 2x. So I can plug in my 4's. I'm going to use orange this time, 4 for x. So it's going to be 4 square root of 5 and 2 times 4. Now I don't know why I said 4 square root of 5 there. That is 4 square root of 3. So 2 times 4 is 8. So I could say b equals 8. I don't know what a equals yet. So 4 square root of 3. 6.9. So a equals 6.9. Use these formulas. I mean, literally write out the x, what the opposite of 30 equals, what the opposite of 60 equals, and the opposite of 90 equals when you do your work. Goodbye.